So Jennifer, you're not at a science center right now, but you've been thinking about science centers a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So broadly, what are you hoping for in terms of science centers, science education, given the current economic and cultural climate?
Sure. It may sound a little bit over the top in some ways, but honestly, we have a great opportunity right now. As science centers, we've been struggling for credibility, for our place to say that we're more than the nice thing to have, but we're very necessary. And I think that our connections with our communities are finally helping us see, and others see us as really vital institutions. That's not going to disappear overnight, but we've got some momentum, and I think now's the time to really capture that and take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think I get a sense that certainly in some ways journalism has abrogated its responsibility in terms of science communication. There's not as many science reporters as there used to be. There are more the generalists that are covering stuff. Politicians seem to not be that keen on science education and grasping really important issues. So I think you're right that there is this loyalty that people have to a science center that can be used, right?
Yeah, well, we talk a lot and we hear a lot about the fact that science centers, museums in general, are trusted still. Right. We don't want to lose that, and so that causes some of us to get a little risk adverse at times, right. And yet we're being given the opportunity to step forward. Right. So we should feel confident about moving forward in that. And I think the education piece may be a little different than the science communication element. Right. Education's going through radical change, and it's because of the changes in our world, and they can't move fast enough. We actually have a less risk, high issue. We can take chances in education that the formal systems can't do. So there's another one of those community collaborations that we've got lots of trusted teachers, great leaders in education, but they've got this behemoth of a system around them. Science centers are fast and small, and we can do, even the big ones can do a lot there. And that adds to that. Look at what they're doing. Let's lead the way with others, not for others. But it is a challenging time because there's no perfect path. Right. But there are many in front of us.
Now, there's still a tension, and maybe even a more growing tension these days between the technical capabilities. I'm thinking of augmented reality, virtual reality, being able to do stuff on cell phones that we could never have done even 5 years ago, versus the high-touch, tactile, physical community experience of science centers. How do you see that playing out over the next few years?
We have tended to rush to technologies, and we know that sometimes, QR codes was a great example. Everybody put QR codes because there's so much. I'm an exhibit developer by trade. There's so much depth that ends up on the cutting room floor, if you will, of an exhibit development. But it didn't work, and it's because it wasn't the right connection with our audience. So what is the point about hands-on? I think we're losing in our two-dimensional. I know it'll be more three-dimensional as augmented reality. It takes us further, but we know that the research shows that you've got to work with your hands to understand and wire your brain for spatial reasoning, and we need to give our children that opportunity. And the safety culture and the two-dimensional iPad screen are diminishing that. Right. So there's a place there for the physical. But the other part is the social engagement. People don't do these things on their own. They do need time to do and explore on their own, but it's the other together part of it. And so our physical assets, which feel like they weigh us down sometimes, are actually a massive attribute for bringing people together. You're not going to get issues out of a three-dimensional physical engagement, but you can by addressing it in a larger group. It's hard on us because those events are fabulous and then they're gone. Right. And so repeating them, we can't do it all the time, but it is still really essential because it's part of that moment of public awareness, community awareness. Wow, there's a big talk going on at the Science Center. But yesterday I was working on the ground with my grandkids, and look at how they're learning. I mean, we let little kids learn. We understand as they're toddlers, they're learning, but we've taken away some of that fun exploration, both for adults and for 8, 9, 10-year-olds who are on this track. If I got to learn all these facts, they need the skills to explore. We need to give them the space to do that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.